Alright, traditional sonar. The traditional sonar on the Garmin does look good. As you can see, we're just controlling our cursor here. I'm going to come over here and drop it on the traditional sonar. Okay, so it was working. Give it a second. Oh, you know what? I turned it off. I turned it back on. So this is what it looks like. This sonar is actually firing right now into the floor. So what I need to do is I need to go back and I need to put it into simulator mode. So settings, system, simulator off, simulator on. Okay. Back, enter. That's how easy it is to navigate. I mean, you can just fly through this unit once you figure it out. That's one thing I really like about the Garmin Striker. This is the 7-inch screen model. Now, one thing that you're going to notice right off the bat with the Garmin is the contrast is very, very good. You get a very good picture. The traditional sonar is going to be your less true to scale picture. It's going to give you a little bit more color, a little bit more filtering of some of the things on the bottom and the fish that you see. Now when we swap over to the down scan, clear view, side view, that sort of thing, the fish, and you'll actually be able to see branches and trees, and everything's going to be less, blown up. One reason that sonar is awesome is because you don't miss a whole lot, right? And how I use this is I'll be cruising through the lake or the ocean, and I'll start with sonar while I'm moving. And say I hit this spot, which is a point of interest, I'm going to immediately drop a pin, back that out, on that spot so it's marked, and I'll be able to find it, and you will be able to use that in the navigation because we want to come back and sit on top of this spot. But once you get it, or once you find that spot and you mark it, then you swap over to the clear view or the side view, something that's going to give you a sharper picture. But the big value behind your traditional sonar is if you're just scouting, if you're moving at a couple miles per hour, looking for fish or looking for a certain thing, it's harder to miss fish, right? In these big arches here with the yellow, you can almost see the density or several fish close together. That is a strength of your traditional sonar, and that's why a lot of sonars or a lot of manufacturers, maintain this particular setting. So the Garmin also has, right out of the box, it is on auto range detecting. So as you can see, it jumping to a deeper depth or coming in shallower, and the screen adjusts to that depth. Also the numbers on the sides. See? That is the auto range detecting. Some people love it. Some people don't. If you're looking for fish that is, say, 20 feet or below, then you really don't care about what's 20 feet to 0 feet. So if you want to do custom ranges, you can completely cut that out and custom range 20 foot to 40 foot so you can zoom in on this area. That's going to be particularly helpful when you're using your clear view. We'll look at that in the next video. But out of the box, especially for kayak fishing, the auto range is perfectly fine for what we're doing. Like I mentioned, as you're cruising around, you're just using this sonar to make features underwater obvious, right? So whether it be stacked up fish or structure on the bottom, that sort of thing. So basically what we're looking at is this is likely going to be a tree with some fish around it. A hump, that's going to be fish right there. These stacks, I don't know if these stacks right here are fish. Sometimes these are trees that are off to the side. Oops. Off to the side and barely out of range, so they'll look a little bit distorted. Those would definitely be fish. Looks like there's 3 of them stacked right on top of each other. A lot of times you'll see bait or small fish in these big giant unbroken arches. And keep in mind some of this what we're looking at is two-dimensional, but the beam underneath your boat is not two-dimensional, right? So you could be getting, that could be just the shadow or just the edge of a tree that's sitting over to the left or the right. That could also be bait. This looks like this is going to be structure with fish all over it. Fish are typically identified as these little arches, right? And the bigger or wider the fish is, the fatter that arch is going to be. So you can almost get an idea of the density or the volume of a specific animal based off of the signature on the sonar. Now we've seen this, so it's basically we're on simulator mode, and it's just repeating the same frame over and over and over again. So that's it. Real basic, guys. If you guys have used sonar before in the past, whether it be a Lowrance or a Humminbird or a Garmin, this isn't really going to differ that much from that. You're going to have that same functionality here, plus several extras with the Garmin Striker plus side view or SV. So thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and there is another playlist, or there is a playlist for this Garmin, so be sure to check that out and get all of that information. So thanks, have a great day.